My name is Luke Hamilton. I'm a senior captain too, with all those hooligans over there. My speech is going to be about caring about your teammates. Here in Avon, I mean, every single one of them, I got all their backs. We got each other's backs. Walking on that field, most teams, they play for themselves. We don't. We play for each other. And that's why Avon's been so successful in years since Elders got here. You know, great coach over there. But yeah, the brotherhood we have here is not matched. I mean, getting up at 5:30 in the morning is not easy. You can ask them, it's just not fun. Sometimes I wake up late in bed and I'm like, I just want to quit football. But, you know, getting up, knowing you're going to go and spend some time with them makes it a lot easier. So, yeah, thanks.
Luke, what does it mean to you to be an Avon Eagle?
Hard work and brotherhood. I mean, getting up at 6:45 or 5 o'clock in summer, it's hard. But knowing you're going to do with your teammates and your brothers and your family makes it a lot easier and a lot more fun.
When you first came to this community, what did it mean to you and your family? Like, what drew you here?
To be honest, I used to grow up watching Elyria versus Avon scrimmages here at Elyria, and I always hated Avon because they used to always beat Elyria sometimes. So I used to always just not like them. Then going into my 8th grade year, Elder had talked to my dad because they coached against each other for so long. We wanted a good school that, you know, had great coaching, which Avon does, and it just appealed to us through that. And my dad was like, all right, you get to decide between Keystone, where I knew a lot of people going, and then Avon, which I already knew a lot of kids here, just from AAU basketball. So that family aspect, just knowing people, really brought me here. And then as soon as I got here, they just took me under their wing, and now we're here.
You're big and strong and everything. Mm-hmm. When did you realize, hey, I am a big-time college recruit? People are going to want me.
7th and 8th grade, I was terrible, I thought. And you know, because I hold myself to a high standard. But 7th and 8th grade, I was awful, terrible. And then 9th grade, I mean, my skill level bumped. Kind of shot up through just with the coaching with Mulgrew after even like a month or a week. It just helped a lot. Towards the end of that year, I started playing varsity, and I was like, well, it's really hard to play varsity as a senior or a junior, let alone a freshman. So it kind of just in my mind, back in my mind, and then sophomore year, that's kind of when I was like, I could go and be part of a big time program.
You've kind of stayed humble through this whole process too. How do you do that? All this attention, yet you're just Luke.
My dad's always say, be humble, you know, just through everything. Give all glory to God, you know. He gave me all this stuff. I mean, genetics, but he was the one who gave my dad, then my dad gave it to me. And then just having Mulgrew and Elder help me through that process, they always say, be humble. That was always the biggest word, be humble, be humble, be humble. I didn't want kids to hate me just because, you know, a lot of kids, when they get like this, they turn cocky or they turn into the jock of the school, and I did not want to be like that. I didn't want to follow in that. So I just remained myself. People knew I had this stuff, and whenever they come up to me to talk about it, I was kind of like, I don't really care. Just, I'm Luke. I'm not football right now. I'm Luke Hamilton. I want to be known as that, not as, oh, he's big recruit guy. I didn't want to be known as that.
What's that like, all these big schools coming after you and wanting you?
A couple schools had come in, but they wouldn't offer. I got a text from Elder, hey, Coach Franklin and Penn State's going to come in tomorrow. And I was like, whoa, like, what do you mean? And that night I had a dream, and I was like sitting in an office, and Franklin had told me I got offered, and I was like, all right, maybe this is it. Like, I've always watched Penn State, wasn't really a big fan, but I went in that meeting, and I talked to Coach Franklin for a tiny bit, and I went back to class, but before I left, he's like, let's get on the phone, and I was like, whoa, what do you mean? So the rest of the day I didn't think anyone else heard that part, but I did. Of course, I was hounded in. I got back to class, and the rest of the day went really slow, just super slow. I was like, all right, what's going on? Like, period, 45 minutes felt like 3 hours. Like, I was just in my head kind of the whole time. Then I got a note to go down to the athletic office towards about 6th period. I walked in, Elder's sitting there, and then Elder's kind of just like, I got to tell you something. I was like, oh, no. Like, what do you mean you got to tell me something? I kind of couldn't sit down. He told me to sit down, but I was like, I got to stand up. Like, I can't sit down right now. You know, it's going to be a lot to process right now, but you just got offered by Penn State, and I started tearing up a little bit just because at that moment I knew that when I told my dad, he was going to be really proud because all a kid really wants is that, you know, approval from your dad. So I knew once I told him that, he was going to be super excited. So Elder told me that. I started tearing up a little bit just because of that, but Elder got up, gave me a hug. Then I, you know, called my dad, and I told him, and as soon as I told him, his voice kind of broke. Like, he didn't believe it. He was like, are you serious? Like, he wouldn't believe me. I was like, Dad, I don't know what else to say. Like, I can show you when I get home. I don't know. Kentucky came right back, offered. Toledo next morning came back again, offered. And then Iowa State the same day. I had 3 offers on the same day, and I was like, whoa, like this is different. And then for a good spurt, it was an offer a day. I got up to like 7, which I think was Rutgers. And then we hit spring, and me and JC were getting yanked out of class every minute. Like we'd get back to class, hey, you guys need to come back down. We're like, all right, what? And I always had to be careful with what I was wearing. I couldn't be wearing a school. Like I'd run into the locker room, throw my shirt down, put a different shirt on, go talk, and then so that was a little tough. But I mean, then it hit spring. As the big schools started coming, Michigan State, Michigan, Nebraska, they just all started offering. And then Tennessee came. I was like, whoa, Tennessee's SEC, like that's a big school. Like I never expected that. And they offered. But Michigan always kind of, I wasn't a big fan, but then they showed me the Michigan way, and I loved it ever since I got that offer. I kind of knew that that's where I wanted to be at. I went to the Ohio State-Michigan game. After the game, I was like, I got to call Coach Moore. Like, he just won. Like, I got to congratulate him just because even at that point, I was like, he's kind of like my second dad. Like, he always treated me the right way. I called him, told him, hey, I'm ready to commit. And he kind of got all the coaches on the phone, a couple of the linemen, which was really cool. So
your persona is confidence. How do you stay confident without getting arrogant? Being one of the top players in the state, Michigan recruit.
I don't talk a lot, like on the field or anything, or like to my teammates. I'm just not a cocky person. I even talked to Nolan Good, starting quarterback. I was like, am I cocky? They're like, no, it's earned confidence. Like, you're confident, you're not cocky. I don't know, I just don't talk a lot. Even about football, like even during football, we're not talking about football. We're joking around, we're having fun. I just want to be with the guys and have fun, live out my senior year. I could care less about being cocky. I don't want to be that type of guy.
You have dream aspirations beyond Michigan, maybe the next level?
Yeah, definitely. I would love to get to the NFL.
What would that feel like? Would it be your wildest dreams?
Yeah, my dad was supposed to go NFL, but then his senior year, he one play, he got thrown into the back. A guy got thrown into the back of him, broke both of his knees. So ever since then, I've kind of like, I want to do what my dad didn't, because he would have went if he was healthy. So I know even him now, he's like, I want you to get to the league. I want to see you do something I couldn't. I want to do it for him so he can kind of be at peace with it, kind of just forget about it and be like, all right, my son did it, I'm proud, I'm good.
What's that like to have a father figure that's just so inspirational and so for you?
I'm glad, because I mean, without him, I don't think I'd ever be in this position. Him or Elder. Elder, I mean, he helped me a bunch. My dad kind of sat back. Once I got my first offer, I was like, Elder, take care of it. You got it. Like, he's going to listen to you better than he listens to me at this point. So, I mean, he was just always there along the way. He was always positive. There was a couple times, like when I was young, I'd get in the game, I'd play a basketball game, and I wouldn't do too hot, and I could tell he's mad, and he'd kind of like show it a little bit, and he could tell that kind of hurt me just because I wanted like a good job. So throughout the years, he learned like, oh, like I can't always be hard on him. Like I got to be a dad at some point. I can't be a coach. That's why I grew up around him. Like he started taking me. This is when COVID hit. He took me down to my uncle's weight room in the basement. We'd work out almost every day. Push his Ford Expedition throughout the whole Avon parking lot, jump rope, run, and he was always just there along the way. So I kind of just he's always been there for me. And talking about it, sometimes I do get a little shaken up just because I know he's proud now, and that's a big thing for me, just having him proud.
Your strength, athleticism, and great playing ability, how much do you think that trickles down to them and they want to almost match you if they could?
A lot. I mean, I remember my sophomore year, Anthony Drenick was always like, I want to go against you. I want to go against you because I know if I do a move on you and it works a little bit, it's going to work against the tackle in our conference. So, I mean, I've always, a lot of the DMs would always say that to me, and then I like putting people on the ground. I know it gets people hyped, like against Midview. My sophomore year when I pancaked the guy on the sideline, the whole team went crazy, and from that on, we were just going. So when people see that, and I'm kind of in the huddle, I like to yell. I'm like, let's go, let's get going. We're slow right now, let's go. And the energy trickles down to them. I can tell just the O-line, like example, North Royalton, we're getting a bunch of flags against us. We're like, oh no, like this is bad. Then me and Matt Muir looked at each other and like, let's start screaming. Let's start getting energy. So from then on, like that was the best game I ever played, funnest game I've ever played, just because the energy was up. We were getting the fans going. O-line was moving. JC was like, I'm running behind y'all. Y'all don't stop, I don't stop. So it's always just been fun. Sam last year would always say, I'm comfortable. Like I'm not really looking to see if I'm about to get hit because I trust y'all. Like we're going to be good. So having that was always a good thing.
How much do you think you bring the best out, like in the other linemen? How much do you think their level elevates just being around you and wanting to play up to your level?
I think it helps. I mean, they're all their own players. They're all great. I mean, I love, we told Margaret during offseason, hey, can we get Matt Muir next to me? Just because we think our double teams will be a lot tougher to beat. Just because we kind of share the same mentality. So does Connor, so does Trent, so does Allspark. We all just want to bury people. So them seeing kind of how hard I play, I kind of used it. Like, I'm more of a leader by example. I don't like talking a whole lot. I really don't. I'm just not that. I feel like I'll get judged if I talk, if I say the wrong thing. So I don't want that to happen. So I'm more of a lead by example. So just that, I think that makes them play harder and be like, all right, let's go.
This team, to an outsider, it's like under the radar. Like
Yeah.
you graduated such a talented senior class from last year, and everyone's like, oh, that was Avon's chance to win a state championship. But here you are, just as talented, just waiting in the wings. You know, like, what do you say to a naysayer like, Avon doesn't got a chance this year?
I really don't say anything. I say, watch us, see what happens, doubt us. I go on Yappy every day, look up the game, and I see what people are saying in the comments. And I'm like, all right, keep saying it. I hope you have that same energy after the game.
You guys basically have like 3 games before the playoffs all year, and you're getting them out of the way early and then one late.
Yeah.
So how do you stay motivated through kind of like the stretch in the middle of where you're playing the 500 team?
You can't doubt anyone. You can't walk in slow. Like, SWC conference is a good conference. Just having that elder always on our back about you cannot come in slow against any team.
What would be the perfect way to end your senior year?
State championship, of course. I mean, everyone says it. It's just what we want, and it's never happened here, and we want it to be the first. I mean, even since 8th grade, we've kind of always been like, hey, we could be the team to do it. And, you know, watching our defense play, our offense when we're going, I mean, we could be that contender this year. But, I mean, goal is to win the last one, win the conference again. We don't want that streak to end with us. That'd be pretty embarrassing. Win the region and then go state champ.
What's that like having a target on your back as Avon, as you're the multiple-time conference champ?
It's kind of fun when you look at it. It's like, hey, everyone's going to give it their best. And, you know, Avon, we do not want to play someone that's not very good. I mean, as you can tell, our first, we just played Camp McKinley, now we play Glenville, who are going to be 2 top teams in Ohio. We want teams best because it gets us better.
Luke Hamilton.
Dog. I don't want to say big because I feel like everyone knows that. I want to say something funny. We'll go big for now. I gotta think. Maybe come back to it.
Every day in practice, in games, you are hip to hip with one of the top recruits in the country.
Yeah.
What's that like?
I don't know, like, being, like, around him every day, I don't look at him as, like, we all know he's a great player. He's a top recruit, but, like, I just don't, like, see it as that. Like, I see him as, like, you know, one of the guys, like, one of my boys, one of my teammates, you know? Every game I play next to him, just, like, one of my brothers.
Does he make you better?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We all push each other a lot in the O-line. Everywhere we push each other. He does make me better. Because being around that high of like a skill level, I want to like match that, and I think that just makes us better.
AAU basketball. The first time I ever met Hamilton, he was 6 foot in like 5th grade, and I was like 4'5", and I was a center, and I was guarding him. So.
How'd that go?
I don't know. He was pretty slow, so probably pretty good for me.
Pancakes. Hamilton's serving up pancakes in the kitchen and on the field.
Machine for sure. Machine, because he definitely always blocks for me. So
Hamilton.
Selfless.
What's it like having a big Division I recruit on the team leading the offensive line?
It's awesome. It's awesome. Having Hamilton on my right side is definitely helpful.
Definitely see a difference. I mean, he has a good work ethic. He definitely works harder than most people, than the high school level. He strives for greater goals than most people, I'd say.
He'll let you know too if you're not playing up to standards. He'll let you know.
How much does he bring out the best in everybody else too?
I'd say a lot. He's definitely not one of the quieter guys who will just sit back and let you do your own thing. He's a captain. It's his team. He'll let you know if you're not doing what you're supposed to do.
Come game time, he's really serious on the field.
He's locked in.
You ever seen anybody flip a switch like him come from Thursday to Friday morning? He's almost like a different person, isn't he?
Yeah, no, he is. I could agree with that. I think the whole line flips a switch.
When it's you, Muir, and Hamilton all on one side, if you know the play's going right,
Mm-hmm.
how bad do you feel for those defenders on that right side?
I mean, I think when it's us three going against that D-line and we know, like, we all have that same mindset of we want to kill this kid to the ground, and we also want to get JC that touchdown. I mean, especially if you got someone like JC running behind you, he's going to try to score. He's not scared to get hit, which makes us as an O-line want to block harder. We all like to block to the whistle. I remember there's one game we were all getting yelled at for blocking to the whistle, refs yelling at us, but I mean, not one of us stopped blocking to the whistle because that's just not what we do.
Ever since I met Luke, the one thing that really stood out to me was how competitive he is. From basketball to spike ball to belly flop competitions to who can eat the most Taco Bell and football games. Like, Luke hates losing. What really made me feel safe was that I knew at practice those 4 other linemen were competing. They wanted to be able to play at a high level, and I believe having Luke on the team motivated them to step up their game to the best of their ability. What I was really impressed by with Luke was how he could flip the switch. Off the field, he was very humble, but once he gets on that field, he knows that he is better than the opponent, and that is how he plays. He's not scared of any opposition. He'll pancake you 20 yards down the field and lay on you until I come drag him off and help the kid up so he don't get a penalty. Luke just had that demeanor where he was going to kick your butt every single play because he knew that he could. And I think one of my favorite parts about my entire high school career was just standing in the huddle, listening to these linemen go on and on with each other, and Luke was a great asset to have, not only football-wise, but also socially on the team as a leader and a player. Wish you all the best.
Hey, I'm Joe Westbrook Jr. I'm an alumni from Avon, one of Luke's former teammates, and all I gotta say is the guy's a just fantastic dude on and off the field. You know, like, his character is what really stands out to him. You know, yes, he has all these stats. Yes, he has all these great accomplishments on the field, but off the field it's just even more tremendous. And just the stuff he does, whether it comes to helping someone out or lending someone a hand or being someone to talk to when you're feeling, down or whatever. Because me and Luke, like, I feel like we're brothers. Like, we may not be blood, but it sure feels like it because he's helped me through a lot. He's done a tremendous amount for my family. He's just been a great and a blessing, really, and just continues to do so. And just an overall amazing guy. I can keep going on and on about this kid's character, about his game, and I only wish him nothing but the best and wish him nothing but the best of love, and especially finish out a senior year, which it's going to be a fun one. And I only hope him the best and only hope my fellow Eagles, good luck and go be Lake.
It's been one of my best guy friends going on through high school, although we were 2 years apart. First impressions of him when he came into the program, I could see that he had something in him. He had the energy and the grind to be a great player and get where he is right now. We got a lot of memories together. We went up to the field a lot. I would always get kicking in. Probably our best memory that can't speak on too much was when he came up and visited here, came up to Wisconsin, came and visited me. We had a great weekend, but on and off the field, he's got a great character. He's got high intentions. He's dedicated. He has a purpose to what he's doing, and I wish him the best at Michigan. Unfortunately, he's going to Michigan, but I wish him the best at Michigan, and I'll see him in the next 2 years in the game, so good luck to you.
I just watched progressively get better and better and better. You look at kids who play Division I college football, and yes, they have to have the measurables. You have to be a certain size, and he has that. He has the height, he has the weight. You have to have a right mentality also to be able to do that. You have to love the position and want to be a technician. But I remember watching Luke as a freshman, even in middle school, watching Luke as a middle schooler. He didn't have much of a motor. He didn't play as hard as I thought he probably could. But over time, he just added to his game. Right now, he's playing at the highest level maybe of any offensive lineman we've ever had. Michigan's getting a really good player, a guy who's worked his craft, who has the physical tools, but he's also got the work ethic to go with it.
When you first saw him as a middle schooler and you kind of looked up to him, what did you think?
I knew their potential was there, right? Some things you can't teach, and height and weight is one of them. But when you watched him play, it wasn't like he was dynamic or remarkable as an 8th grader. He was a good player, but he wasn't great. He wasn't dominating everybody. But as we continued to watch him move through this program, he's changed his body, he's changed his mentality, he's changed his technique. He's very coachable, and he's become a great player.
When do you think the switch flipped, that he went from just kind of like showing up on game day to a top recruit?
His junior year, without question. His junior year, I was very critical of him at times, and that's what I love about Luke. I've had some serious conversations with him about, not letting some of the recruiting stuff get to his head. And, he's under a microscope. There's a lot of people around here because he's going to Michigan who want to take shots at Luke, and I would never allow that. He's a great kid from a great family. He's done a remarkable job for us as a leader, and he also is a really talented player who I think when Ohio State plays Michigan on Saturdays is going to wish they had on their team.
I've never seen him on game day just not with laser focus. Is that just self-taught, or did you guys help him with that?
No, that's something. I mean, Luke's obviously got a great relationship with his mom and dad, but his dad was a college football player at the University of Toledo. His dad coached offensive line for years at Elyria. So Luke has come up around a coach as a father, and I'm sure that he's had tremendous impact on Luke. And so you can tell he's a coach's kid when it comes to that stuff. And so it's made our job easier with Luke. But again, I can't speak volumes about the leaps and bounds he takes every year to make himself even better. That's why I can't wait till he's a sophomore, junior in college to see, what he can become.
How much does he make the other linemen and the rest of the team better around him?
Anytime you have a player of his caliber and he wants to hold everybody else accountable, he plays right next to Matt Muir. Those guys right there are going to make sure that the whole entire offense line feeds off of them and their expectations and their nastiness. Because the truth is, you can't play offense line and be good unless that group collectively wants to play to the echo of the whistle. That group collectively wants to put people on the ground at the end of the play. There's a nastiness that has to go with being a good run football team, and Luke brings that to everybody.
And then off the field, all I've ever witnessed and all I've ever heard from people is he's just the most mild-mannered, jokester, having fun. He's nothing like he is on the field.
That's the way all of our guys should be, right? I mean, you don't want that same mean streak when you're walking through the halls. But, yeah, I think Luke is mild-mannered is an appropriate way to put it. But on the field, that's a completely different thing. There's a switch it's turned on, and I love watching it. It's well within the rules, but it is a streak to where he doesn't want the play to end unless you're on your back.
You've had some great players come through this program in your tenure. Do you think he's probably one of the most recruited players ever?
Without question, he's definitely right up there. We've had some really talented players here, and Luke and Jacorian are the next in line of those guys. Luke Hamilton had a lot of opportunities out there for him to select what college he wanted to go to, and for good reason.
If you were a flavor of ice cream, what would you be?
Vanilla, I guess. Just kind of plain. I don't know. I'm not super.
Okay, well wait. Let me do a two-parter. Before kickoff or before game day, you're vanilla. On game day, what are you then? Because you morph into a different human on game day.
Yeah, agreed. I'm trying to think of like ice cream flavors. Like I'm not. Yeah, I eat a lot of ice cream, but I don't really look at the box to see what flavor it is. I just eat it.
Or are you almost like Pop Rocks, like something explodes in your mouth,
That's more game day. I kind of just explode. Or like, I'm kind of like Batman. I don't say a whole lot, but I black up. I turn into demon mode. I don't know, on game day. Like there's kids that will like be joking around. They see me walk past. They're like, whoa, okay, let's not joke around no more. Like everyone kind of knows I have that persona. When it hits game day, the switch is on. Don't talk to me. I'm kind of all business from there on out.
How do you do that?
It's just always been a thing my dad's kind of instilled in me. Once game day hits, flip that switch. You got to have a switch to play football. 7th, 8th grade, I did not have that switch, but from 9th grade on, I kind of knew what it was like. Just, I don't know. There's just something in me that clicks. I just get pissed off out of nowhere. I don't know. Like, I really haven't slept this week. Taco Bell's the move.
So if you walked into Taco Bell right now and ordered whatever you want, what would you get? You got to eat a lot more after game?
After game, I go crazy. Probably.
Maybe we should do that then.
All right, you want to do the game? All right. Grilled cheese burrito, probably 2 of them. 2 of them, just up it a little bit. Baja Blast to drink, large, of course, large. No small, nothing, just large. The Crunch Wrap, like probably 2 of those. That's a lot of food already, right? What are those little like cinnamon sugar
twist?
things? Yeah, those and the balls. What is it?
I don't know.
It's like a Cinnabon Delight. I think that's what it's called. All that food, and I eat it all. I don't care. I smash on it. After the game, my dad would come home. You got leftovers? That was a lot of food. I was like, nope. I ate it all. He's like, how'd you eat that? I was like, Dad.
Look at me.
Look at me. I ain't this big for no reason.
What are you, 6'7", 300?
6'6", 295 right now.
Okay.
I've been losing a little weight, kind of kicking back on Taco Bell.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, kind of.
What's like his go-to thing? Like when he walks into a room, what would he say to people?
Man. Always starts with the man. Smacking his lips.
So if you walked in the locker room Friday as you're getting ready for a game, what would like be the first?
Oh, if it's the
30
game
seconds?
day, I feel like it's a. You know, like the dude never has a smile on his face. He's always serious.
When does he flip the switch? Like as soon as school's over on Friday?
Probably. Oh, I feel like after that Thursday practice, probably Thursday or Friday morning waking up, it's like game time.
He's quite focused, isn't he?
He is. We're all pretty focused.
You're not as focused as that, though.
Well, leading up, like game days, it's a different story.
He looks mean though.
Oh yeah, he does. But he's a big old teddy bear. He's a nice guy.
How much fun have you had your senior year so far? And how
So
much more are you gonna
far,
have?
a lot. Just the activities we're doing as a group. We're all kind of hanging out more just 'cause we know this is kind of our last year. I was going to leave early and do early enrollment, but then just like going to the volleyball game and doing all that was really fun. And they're like, dude, don't leave us. Like, don't do it yet. I'm like, all right. So I'm hanging back. I'm going to finish up my senior year with them, have a lot of fun, and then go on to track. That's what I'm kind of getting ready for just because I didn't do too hot last year. So I'm coming up to prove a point.
What kind of legacy does Luke Hamilton want to leave at Avon?
I want every offensive lineman to be like me when I leave. Being a hard worker, finishing to the whistle. Just sometimes, I mean, I got personal fouls for going too hard. I remember against Lorraine, the scrimmage, it was probably a personal foul, but the ball was JC was running down the field, and I took the kid probably 30 yards behind the play, pancaked him, laid on top of him. Big Al threw the flag at me, and I got up, I'm like, Big Al, what? I'm playing football. Like, this ain't ballerina. Like, I'm playing football. And then last week, the one ref was like, hey, we're not finishing until the whistle. I was like, until that whistle blows, we're not stopping. You can throw the flag if you want, but our coach ain't going to be too happy if you throw it. So go ahead, you can argue with Elder. Have fun. Oh, well. Do you. I would not want to throw that flag if I have to argue with Elder after. I don't want to do it.
Hollywood made a movie
Oh, Jesus.
about Luke Hamilton. Who would star as Luke Hamilton?
The Sandlot. The redhead dude from The Sandlot. What's it called?
Oh, I don't know his
What's
name.
his name?
That's not the one that says You're Killing Me Smalls, right?
Uh-huh.
I don't know the actor's name.
The redhead. Patrick Renna. That's his name. I'd have him. 100% have him.
Patrick Renna?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Why is that?
He's redheaded. He's bigger. Not anymore, but I'm redheaded and bigger, so like it fits.
Do you use that phrase a lot? You're killing me, Smalls?
Nah, not really. I mean, I did it yesterday to Zepernick. He didn't throw the ball to coach. He kind of walked to him. I said, "You're killing me, Smalls. Just throw the ball back." Because we were going tempo, and I didn't want to get yelled at. So
That's like fitting.
I know. It's weird. It came in my mind. I was like, all right, I'm going to say it. So I said it.